Chasing dreams is not just about having a vision. It is about fueling your life with purpose, energy, and fire that keeps you moving forward when everything around you tries to hold you back. Every great achievement in history began with a dream, a small spark in the heart of someone who refused to accept limitations. The world will always try to tell you what you can and cannot do, but the pursuit of dreams requires you to shut down those voices and believe with unshakable certainty that greatness lies within you. You are not here just to survive. You are here to thrive, to create, to leave a mark that time cannot erase. Catching greatness is not an accident, nor is it a privilege reserved for a chosen few. It is the reward of relentless effort, discipline, and courage. You have to wake up every day ready to fight for the life you want. Some days will feel heavy, some nights will test your patience, and some failures will sting deeply. But those very struggles are shaping you into someone capable of carrying greatness. Every setback is a lesson. Every rejection is a redirection, and every challenge is a chance to sharpen your character. Greatness demands that you keep going when comfort tempts you to stop. The truth is, chasing your dream will not always feel glorious. Sometimes it will be lonely, exhausting, and uncertain. You will face doubt not just from others, but from yourself. You will question whether you are good enough, whether you are strong enough, whether you are even meant for this path. But greatness does not belong to those who never doubt. It belongs to those who move forward despite the doubt. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is taking action even when fear screams the loudest. Imagine for a moment the version of yourself who decided not to quit. The version of you who fought through the storms, who kept showing up when the world thought you were finished, who believed so strongly in their dream that giving up was never an option. That version of you already exists. It is waiting at the end of your persistence. Chasing dreams is not about arriving at the destination quickly. It is about becoming the person worthy of that destination along the way. Greatness is not about perfection. It is about progress, growth, and resilience. Every small step, every long night, every risk you take brings you closer. Your dream may feel far, but every decision you make either pulls you toward it or pushes you away from it. Choose to rise. Choose to move forward, no matter how small the step may seem. One step today, another tomorrow, and before you know it, you will look back and realize you have climbed a mountain others thought was impossible. When you chase your dream, you give others permission to chase theirs. Your journey becomes a source of hope and courage to those silently watching, waiting for a sign that it is possible. You may never know how many lives you inspire just by refusing to quit on your own vision. Catching greatness is not just about personal success. It is about creating a legacy, about proving that human spirit, determination, and faith can overcome anything. So do not wait for the perfect moment, because there is no such thing. Do not wait for approval, because you do not need it. Do not wait for fear to disappear, because it never will. Chase your dream with everything you have. Catch greatness with everything you are. The journey will be hard, but the reward will be eternal. One day, when you look back, you will not remember the sleepless nights, the failures, or the doubts. You will remember the victory of becoming someone who refused to settle, someone who turned their dream into reality, someone who caught greatness because they dared to chase it. Greatness starts with a dream. And it is in that simple yet powerful truth that every story of transformation begins. Every invention, every movement, every work of art, and every legacy that has shaped the world was once only a thought in someone's mind. A dream is the seed planted in the soil of possibility, and though it may appear small and insignificant at first, within it lies the potential to grow into something extraordinary. The dreamer who dares to believe in that vision, even when the world sees nothing, holds the key to unlocking greatness. Dreams are not random thoughts that drift through our imagination. They are whispers from within, reminders of who we are capable of becoming if only we have the courage to pursue them. The most remarkable part of chasing greatness is that it rarely begins with resources, status, or perfect circumstances. It begins with an idea, a passion, a spark that refuses to die even when faced with resistance. Think about the pioneers of history who changed the world. They didn't start with guarantees, they started with dreams. Martin Luther King Jr. did not begin his journey with a roadmap to victory. He began with a dream that racial equality could exist. Thomas Edison did not know how to create the light bulb at the start. He simply believed it was possible. The Wright brothers had no proof that human flight was achievable, yet they dared to dream of soaring through the skies. Each of these individuals carried a dream so strong that it fueled their determination and eventually pulled them into greatness. The beauty of dreams lies in their ability to see beyond reality. They allow you to envision what does not yet exist. Where others see barriers, a dreamer sees possibilities. Where others see impossibility, a dreamer sees opportunity. This vision gives strength in the darkest times, because when life feels overwhelming, the dream acts as a compass, guiding you back to your purpose. Without dreams, life becomes mechanical, predictable, and uninspired. But when you dream, you breathe life into your existence, you awaken creativity, ambition, and passion. Dreams are the blueprint of the future, the roadmap that takes you from where you are to where you long to be. Yet it is important to understand that dreams alone are not enough. They are the starting point, but they require action, discipline, and resilience to bring them into reality. Far too many people let their dreams die because they believe they are too small, too unworthy, or too late to pursue them. They convince themselves that dreams are meant for others, for the talented, the wealthy, or the lucky. But greatness does not discriminate. It does not choose based on background or circumstances. Greatness comes to those who dare to chase their dreams, no matter how unreachable they may seem. The world's history is filled with ordinary people who achieved extraordinary things simply because they refused to let go of their dreams. Greatness starts with a dream, but it grows with belief. If you do not believe in your dream, no one else will. You must nurture it, protect it, and feed it with faith when the world tries to starve it with doubt. Belief transforms a fragile idea into a powerful force. It allows you to rise after failure, to stand when life knocks you down, and to keep moving even when the path ahead is unclear. Without belief, dreams remain fantasies. With belief, they become possibilities, and with persistence, they become reality. One of the biggest tragedies is when people stop dreaming. They let life's hardships, disappointments, or fears steal their vision. They settle for less than what they are capable of, living in quiet frustration, always wondering, what if? But those who hold on to their dreams, even when the world tells them to quit, discover something magical. They discover that greatness is not about the size of the dream, but the strength of the pursuit. Even the smallest dream, pursued with passion and persistence, can change lives and leave a lasting impact. Greatness is not defined by fame or recognition, but by living a life true to your dreams. A teacher inspiring a classroom, an artist painting with heart, a parent raising children with love. These are acts of greatness born from dreams. Your dream does not have to be grand to be powerful. It only has to be real, meaningful, and pursued with all your heart. What matters is that you do not let fear or doubt silence the voice inside you that dares to imagine more. Greatness starts with a dream, and your dream is proof that you have within you the potential to achieve it. If it were impossible, it would not have been placed in your heart. That desire, that longing, that fire to create, to achieve, to inspire, it exists for a reason. The world needs dreamers because they are the ones who shape tomorrow. They are the ones who refuse to accept what is and instead create what can be. And you too are capable of that. Your dream, no matter how small or big, has the power to bring greatness not just to your life, but to the lives of countless others. So hold on to your dream, chase it with passion, protect it with belief, and pursue it with discipline. When obstacles come, remember that every dream worth chasing will test your strength. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself that greatness always begins as a fragile dream in the heart of someone who refuses to give up. Let your dream be the light that guides you, the fuel that drives you, and the legacy that defines you. Because at the end of the day, Greatness does not start with resources, talent, or luck. It starts with a dream, and that dream begins with you. Persistence outlasts obstacles because persistence is the force that keeps you moving when everything around you tells you to stop. Life is filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments of deep frustration. Obstacles are not signs that you are on the wrong path. They are proof that the path you are on is meaningful. Anything worthwhile will test your patience, your strength, and your commitment. The difference between those who succeed and those who fall short is not talent or luck, but persistence. Talent can give you a head start, but without persistence, it eventually fades. Luck may open doors, but without persistence, you won't have the endurance to walk through them. Persistence is the glue that holds dreams together when everything else threatens to tear them apart. Every obstacle is an opportunity in disguise, a lesson meant to strengthen you. But most people don't see it that way. They see obstacles as walls, as reasons to quit, as proof that their dream was never meant for them. The truth is, obstacles are not the end of the road. They are part of the road. The person who keeps going, even when the path is rough, is the one who ultimately reaches the destination. History is full of examples of men and women who succeeded not because they never faced difficulty, but because they refused to give up when they did. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb, yet he saw every failure as progress. Nelson Mandela spent decades in prison, yet his persistence outlasted the bars, the suffering and the pain, until he became a symbol of freedom and resilience. Their greatness was not in avoiding obstacles, but in outlasting them. Persistence is not glamorous. It does not always come with applause or recognition. More often, it is quiet, lonely, and unseen. It is the student studying late into the night while others sleep. It is the athlete training in silence while no one is watching. It is the entrepreneur facing rejection, after rejection yet showing up again with new energy. Persistence is the invisible work that builds the foundation of visible success. People often admire the end result, but what they fail to see are the countless hours of persistence that made it possible. The truth is, obstacles will try to break you down mentally before they ever break you physically. They attack your belief, your patience, and your confidence. This is why persistence is so powerful. It is not just about moving forward. It is about refusing to surrender your faith. When you choose persistence, you send a message to the universe, to yourself, and to your obstacles. I am not stopping here. And the longer you persist, the weaker your obstacles become. What once felt like an impossible mountain eventually shrinks into a conquered milestone. There will be moments when quitting feels easier. In fact, quitting will always seem more comfortable in the short term. But quitting guarantees one thing: you will never know how close you were to a breakthrough. Persistence ensures that you keep pressing forward, even if progress feels invisible. Success does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it is hidden behind the next attempt, the next phone call, the next early morning, or the next act of courage. The people who achieve greatness are not always the ones who move the fastest. They are the ones who keep moving the longest. Persistence is also contagious. When others see you standing tall in the face of obstacles, they are inspired to rise above their own. Your persistence becomes a beacon of hope to those who doubt themselves. It proves that ordinary people can do extraordinary things simply by refusing to give up. You never know who is watching you, drawing strength from your example. Your ability to persist could be the reason someone else decides to keep fighting for their dream instead of giving up. It is also important to understand that persistence is not about blindly repeating the same actions. True persistence is intelligent. It learns, adapts, and grows stronger with every obstacle. If one path is blocked, persistence looks for another. If one method fails, persistence creates a new strategy. It is not stubbornness. It is resilience combined with wisdom. This flexibility is what makes persistence unbeatable, because no matter what stands in the way, it finds a way forward. Obstacles are temporary, but persistence is eternal. Every difficulty you face will eventually pass, but the strength you gain by persisting will stay with you forever. That strength becomes part of who you are, preparing you for even greater challenges ahead. Life will never be free of obstacles. But if you carry persistence within you, no obstacle will ever be strong enough to stop you. When you look back on your life, the victories you will be proudest of will not be the easy ones. They will be the ones you fought hardest for, the ones where persistence carried you when nothing else could. Obstacles may slow you, they may test you, they may even knock you down. But persistence is what helps you rise again and again until you win. Greatness belongs not to those who never struggle, but to those who never stop. And that is why persistence outlasts obstacles. Because while obstacles are temporary, the spirit of persistence never dies. Courage is acting despite fear, and that truth separates those who only dream from those who actually live their dreams. Fear is universal. It touches everyone regardless of their background, talent, or ambition. No one is immune to it. Fear whispers doubts into your mind, paints worst-case scenarios in your imagination, and convinces you that failure is inevitable. It tells you to play small, to stay safe, to remain where you are. Yet greatness never comes from safety, and dreams are never realized in comfort zones. Courage does not mean the absence of fear. It means moving forward even when fear tries to paralyze you. The most extraordinary achievements are born not because fear was absent, but because courage was stronger. If you wait until fear disappears, you will wait your entire life. Fear will always be present at every new level of your journey. The bigger the dream, the greater the fear that comes with it. But courage teaches you that fear is not your enemy. It is proof that what you are pursuing matters. Fear shows up when you are about to step into something significant. When you feel it instead of running, you must recognize it as a signpost that you are moving in the right direction. Courage is the decision to walk through that door anyway, even if your knees shake and your voice trembles. Think about every hero, leader, or trailblazer you admire. Do you think they felt no fear? They did, but they acted anyway. Nelson Mandela admitted he often felt fear, but he chose courage because freedom was greater than fear. Malala Yousafzai was threatened and attacked for pursuing education, yet her courage turned her into a global voice for justice. These individuals are not remembered because they were fearless. They are remembered because they had the bravery to take action despite fear. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is not that extraordinary people are braver. It's that they take one more step forward while still afraid. Fear is powerful because it disguises itself as protection. It convinces you that avoiding risk will keep you safe. But what it really does is keep you stuck. Playing small might keep you from immediate failure, but it also prevents you from growth, success, and fulfillment. Safety without courage becomes a cage, trapping your potential inside walls of hesitation. Courage, on the other hand, breaks those walls down. It may not remove fear, but it allows you to live fully, to experience life with all its uncertainty, and to discover strengths you never knew you had. Courage is also built, not given. It grows every time you choose to act while afraid. The first time you step into fear, it feels overwhelming. But each time after, the fear becomes smaller and your courage becomes larger. Just like a muscle, courage strengthens through repetition. Every bold step you take, no matter how small, prepares you for even greater challenges ahead. When you look back, you realize that what once terrified you now feels natural. That transformation happens only because you chose to act in the presence of fear, instead of retreating from it. It's important to understand that courage is not reckless. It is not about ignoring danger or pretending fear does not exist. Courage is about awareness. It sees the risk, acknowledges the fear, and still moves forward with intention. It is the balance of bravery and wisdom. The firefighter who rushes into a burning building does not do so because they feel no fear. They do it because their courage tells them that saving a life is worth the risk. The entrepreneur who invests everything into their dream does not do so because failure doesn't scare them. They do it because the possibility of success is greater than the fear of failure. Courage is choosing what matters most over what scares you most. Fear often tries to stop you with thoughts of, what if it goes wrong? But courage replies, what if it goes right? That simple shift in perspective transforms your mindset from doubt to possibility. Courage allows you to imagine not just the risks, but the rewards. It fuels you with hope, resilience, and determination. Without courage, dreams remain locked away in your imagination. With courage, they have the chance to become reality. The most powerful part of courage is that it inspires others. When you act despite fear, people around you see that it is possible. Your courage becomes contagious. Just as fear spreads quickly, so does bravery. One act of courage can ripple outward, encouraging others to step into their own fears. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give to others is your example, showing them that fear can be faced, that it does not have to control you, that action is possible even in uncertainty. In the end, courage is not about eliminating fear, it is about mastering it. It is about refusing to let fear dictate your choices or define your future. Fear will always exist, but courage will always be stronger if you choose it. Acting despite fear is where growth begins, where dreams take shape, and where greatness is born. You may stumble, you may fail, you may feel afraid every step of the way, but every step taken with courage moves you closer to the life you are meant to live. Greatness is not reserved for the fearless. It is reserved for the courageous. Fear may always knock at your door, but courage is the decision to open it and step forward anyway. And when you do, you discover that most of the obstacles you once feared were never as big as they seemed. The only thing standing between you and your dream is the courage to act despite fear. Progress matters more than perfection because perfection is an illusion, while progress is the real evidence of growth. Too often, people wait for the perfect moment, the flawless plan, or the guarantee of success before they take a step forward. They hold back, waiting for conditions to be just right, and in doing so, they remain stuck. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time, and there will never be a perfect version of you before you begin. Life rewards those who move, who act, who choose progress even when it looks small, messy, or uncertain. Progress is the real measure of success because it shows you are moving forward, no matter how slowly. Perfection is a trap that destroys dreams. It tells you that unless everything is flawless, you are not ready. It convinces you that mistakes equal failure and that if you cannot do something perfectly, you should not do it at all. But the reality is, every master started as a beginner, every success story is full of mistakes, and every journey is messy before it becomes beautiful. Waiting for perfection will paralyze you, while choosing progress will transform you. Progress is not about doing everything right. It is about doing something today that brings you closer to your vision tomorrow. Think about a child learning to walk. They stumble, they fall, they wobble with unsteady legs. If perfection were the requirement, they would never take a step. Yet through persistence and progress, they master walking. The same applies to every pursuit in life. You don't become great overnight. You don't achieve excellence instantly. You move forward step by step, mistake by mistake, lesson by lesson, until progress shapes you into someone capable of achieving greatness. Every stumble is part of the progress that makes you stronger, smarter, and more prepared. Progress matters more than perfection because progress compounds. Every small step adds up. Reading one page today may not make you wise, but 100 pages will. Saving a small amount of money may not make you rich, but consistent savings will build wealth. Doing a little each day, consistently, is more powerful than waiting for the perfect day to do it all at once. Progress is the discipline of showing up daily, even when it doesn't feel impressive. Over time, those small steps transform into giant leaps. What seemed insignificant in the moment becomes monumental in the long run. Perfection, on the other hand, leads to procrastination. When you aim for flawless, you keep delaying action because you never feel ready. You wait to have more knowledge, more resources, more confidence, and more certainty. But readiness is not something you find before you start. It is something you build along the way. You gain clarity by acting, not by waiting. You gain skill by practicing, not by planning endlessly. Perfection holds you back while progress pulls you forward. Progress also builds resilience. When you focus on progress, you accept that mistakes and setbacks are part of the journey. Instead of seeing them as failures, you see them as lessons. This mindset allows you to recover quickly, to keep going, to adapt. Perfection, however, makes you fear mistakes so much that you avoid risks altogether. It convinces you to quit after the first setback because you didn't meet an impossible standard. Progress teaches you that imperfection is not the end but a stepping stone toward improvement. Another reason progress matters more than perfection is because progress creates momentum. Action breeds confidence, while inaction breeds doubt. Every time you take a step forward, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that movement is possible. That momentum becomes a force that carries you through challenges. Perfection robs you of momentum by keeping you stuck at the starting line, forever preparing, forever planning, but never moving. Progress may feel slow, but even slow progress eventually outruns perfectionism that never begins. Look at the most successful people in the world. They are not perfect. They failed countless times, made mistakes, and learned through trial and error. What sets them apart is not perfection, but their commitment to progress. They took action when others hesitated. They kept going when others quit. They built habits that compounded over time. Their greatness was born out of steady progress, not flawless performance. Progress is also what brings fulfillment. When you focus only on perfection, you constantly feel inadequate because nothing ever feels good enough. But when you focus on progress, you celebrate growth, you appreciate effort, and you acknowledge how far you've come. This mindset keeps you motivated because you can see the results of your hard work, even if they are not perfect. Progress creates joy, while perfection creates frustration. The truth is, progress is what perfection is built on. If you ever want to come close to mastery, you must first embrace imperfection. You must be willing to take messy action, to fail forward, to learn and adapt. Every master once stumbled. Every expert once doubted themselves. Every success story is written in the ink of progress, not the fantasy of perfection. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to be flawless before you begin. Choose progress. Write the first page, take the first step, make the first attempt. It will not be perfect, but it will be real. And real progress will always outweigh the illusion of perfection. Because at the end of the journey, you won't remember the mistakes you made. You will remember the growth you achieved, the courage you showed, and the distance you traveled. Progress matters more than perfection, because progress builds greatness while perfection only delays it. Your journey inspires others because every step you take, every struggle you endure, and every victory you earn becomes a story that speaks louder than words. People are always watching, sometimes silently, sometimes from a distance, but they notice how you carry yourself, how you fight your battles, and how you refuse to quit. What you may see as ordinary persistence in your own life might be the very spark that lights courage in someone else. Your actions, more than your advice, are what inspire others to believe that they too can rise above their circumstances. Inspiration doesn't come from perfection. It comes from authenticity, from showing your scars and still moving forward, from proving through your life that resilience is stronger than despair. Every person has someone they look up to, not necessarily because that person is flawless, but because they kept going when quitting would have been easier. When you choose to walk your journey with faith, determination, and grit, you give hope to those who doubt themselves. A struggling student sees your late night effort and believes they too can pass their exams. A young athlete notices how you show up to train despite your setbacks and learns what dedication looks like. A coworker who feels like giving up on their dream silently finds strength by watching you refuse to abandon yours. Your journey, even when you don't realize it, becomes a message of possibility to others who feel trapped by fear or failure. The beauty of inspiration is that it does not require grand speeches or fame. It grows from your actions. Your persistence, your discipline, and your courage are the language people understand best. You may never know who you're inspiring. Someone could be quietly drawing strength from your story without ever telling you. That's why your journey matters so much. Even if you feel small, even if your progress feels insignificant, your steps forward are proof to others that progress is possible. You are living evidence that dreams are worth pursuing, that challenges can be overcome, and that greatness can be built brick by brick. Your journey inspires others because it makes the impossible seem possible. When people see someone who came from a similar background, who faced similar obstacles, and who still found a way to rise, they begin to believe that they too can achieve more. The power of example is greater than the power of instruction. It is easy to tell someone to be strong, but it is far more powerful to show them what strength looks like. It is easy to encourage someone to chase their dreams, but it is far more powerful when they see you chasing yours with relentless commitment. Inspiration lives in action, not in empty words. You might think your story is not dramatic enough to inspire anyone, but the truth is, inspiration doesn't come from perfection or fame. It comes from realness. Someone struggling with fear will see courage in your decision to act despite fear. Someone weighed down by failure will see hope in your choice to rise again after falling. Someone who feels ordinary will see proof in your life that ordinary people can do extraordinary things. Your journey, with all its flaws and struggles, is what makes it relatable, and that relatability is what gives it power to inspire. Sometimes your journey inspires others simply because you refuse to quit. People respect consistency more than grand gestures. They are moved when they see you showing up day after day, year after year, even when progress is slow and victories are few. Your steady perseverance tells a louder story than a single moment of success ever could. It shows others that success is not about sudden breakthroughs, but about constant effort. That lesson alone can transform the way someone views their own struggles. Your journey also inspires others by creating a ripple effect. When one person dares to rise, they encourage those around them to rise too. A single act of courage can ripple into families, communities, and even generations. Think of parents who work tirelessly, sacrificing comfort so their children can live better lives. The children grow up inspired by that persistence and carry those values forward. Think of leaders who stood for justice. Their courage inspired entire nations to believe in freedom. You may not see the full impact of your journey now, but every act of persistence and courage plants seeds of inspiration in people you may never meet. It's also important to recognize that your journey inspires not only when you win, but also when you struggle. People connect to your humanity, not your perfection. When you are honest about your challenges yet choose to keep going, you show others that they don't have to be flawless to keep moving. Struggles do not make your story weaker. They make it more powerful. They show others that hardship is not the end, but a chapter in the story of resilience. At the heart of it, your journey inspires others because it proves that change is possible. In a world where many people feel stuck, hopeless, or powerless, seeing someone else rise gives them the courage to try. Your journey becomes living evidence that perseverance works, that dreams are achievable, and that no obstacle is too great for the human spirit. Inspiration is not about having all the answers. It is about living your questions boldly, facing your fears courageously, and moving forward faithfully. So remember, every step you take matters. Your journey is not just for you, it is for everyone who needs to see what persistence, courage, and faith look like in action. Keep going not only for your own dreams, but for the countless people who will find hope in your footsteps. Even when you don't see it, someone out there is watching, learning, and gathering strength from your story. Your journey inspires others not because it is perfect, but because it is real. And sometimes, the simple act of living authentically and persistently is the greatest source of inspiration the world will ever know. Greatness is earned, not given, because nothing truly valuable in life comes without sacrifice, effort, and determination. Too often people look at successful individuals and assume that they were handed opportunities, that life somehow favored them more than others. But behind every story of greatness lies years of unseen struggle, relentless work, and unwavering persistence. Greatness does not arrive as a gift wrapped neatly on your doorstep. It is built brick by brick through consistency, discipline, and courage. To earn greatness means to commit yourself fully to face the trials that test your strength and to keep going long after others have given up. The reason greatness is earned is because the journey itself is what shapes you into someone capable of holding it. If greatness were simply given, it would have no meaning. Imagine being handed a gold medal without training for it, or receiving recognition without putting in the effort. It would feel hollow, undeserved, and empty. It is the sweat, the sacrifices, the long nights, and the relentless pursuit that make greatness meaningful. What makes victory sweet is not just the achievement itself, but the knowledge of everything you endured to reach it. Without the struggle, success loses its value. Earning greatness means choosing discipline over comfort. It means waking up early when you'd rather sleep, practicing when no one is watching, and saying no to distractions that steal your time and focus. It means failing and rising, failing again and rising stronger. Every sacrifice you make becomes part of the foundation of your greatness. Those who want greatness without effort want the reward, without the responsibility. But true greatness cannot be faked. It cannot be bought, borrowed, or inherited. It is earned through consistent action and relentless resilience. Look at the lives of the most impactful figures in history. They were not born into greatness, they earned it. Athletes who inspired generations do so because of years of grueling training. Leaders who shaped nations stood tall not because it was easy, but because they endured pain and hardship for a greater cause. Inventors, artists, and entrepreneurs all became great because they committed themselves to their vision and refused to surrender when challenges mounted. Their greatness was not given. It was forged in the fire of adversity. Greatness is also earned through patience. In a world that craves instant results, many people give up when success doesn't arrive quickly. But greatness is not built in days or weeks. It is built in years. It requires persistence long after excitement fades, long after others stop believing in you. Those who achieve it are not the ones who chase shortcuts, but the ones who embrace the process. Greatness rewards the patient, those who are willing to invest time and energy without demanding immediate results. Another truth is that greatness requires character. Achievements may bring recognition, but character is what sustains greatness. To truly earn it, you must live with integrity, humility, and purpose. Many people reach moments of success, but without character, their greatness crumbles. Earning greatness is not just about what you achieve, but who you become in the process. The journey shapes your resilience, strengthens your values, and deepens your understanding of what truly matters. Greatness earned through struggle lasts longer because it is rooted in strength of character, not in fleeting circumstances. Greatness also demands resilience against failure. No one earns greatness without falling countless times. Failure is not a sign that you are unworthy. It is proof that you are trying. Those who earn greatness view failure as a teacher, a necessary part of growth. They do not allow setbacks to define them. They use them as stepping stones toward improvement. The road to greatness is paved with mistakes, disappointments, and setbacks, but it is persistence through those trials that makes the eventual victory meaningful. When you earn greatness, you inspire others to believe they can earn it too. A legacy built through hard work, sacrifice, and determination shows the world that greatness is accessible to anyone willing to fight for it. You don't need to be born with privilege, talent, or special advantages. You need hunger, discipline, and resilience. When others see your journey, they see proof that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things. That is the power of earned greatness. It multiplies its impact by giving hope to countless others. The truth is, you are not entitled to greatness, but you are capable of it. It will not be handed to you, but it can be built by you. Every effort you make, every sacrifice you embrace, and every obstacle you overcome contributes to the greatness you are earning. It may not come quickly, and it may not come easily, but when it comes, it will be yours, fully deserved, fully earned, and deeply fulfilling. So do not wish for greatness to be given to you. Do not look for shortcuts or easy paths. Instead, commit to the journey. Embrace the hard work, the failures, the sacrifices, and the lessons. Keep moving forward even when progress feels slow, because every step is adding to the foundation of your greatness. One day, when you stand at the peak of your achievement, you will not just celebrate the victory, you will celebrate the strength, resilience, and character you built along the way. That is what makes greatness worth chasing. It is not in the gift of the destination, but in the person you become while earning it. Greatness is earned, not given. And the greatest gift you can give yourself and the world is the commitment to rise every day and fight for it.